quite absurd was my interpretation of what was being said. When did we start accepting as hard news sources bloggers, anonymous bloggers especially? It's a sad state of affairs in the world of the media today, mainstream media especially, if they're going to rely on anonymous bloggers for their hard news information. Very scary. What is the double standard here? Why people would choose to believe lies, and reporters especially not just taking one extra step to get to the facts and report the facts, but instead continue to spread things that are not true, that are not true, that are not true, that are not true.
Our opponent is someone who sees America as imperfect enough to pal around with terrorists who targeted their own country.
Palin made the charge at 3 separate events in California Saturday.
Turns out one of his earliest supporters is a man who, according to the New York Times, was a domestic terrorist and part of a group that, quote, launched a campaign of bombings that would target the Pentagon and the U.S. Capitol.
That article analyzed the relationship between Obama and Bill Ayers. Ayers was a founder of a 1960s radical group called the Weather Underground, which was blamed for several bombings. Obama was a child when the group was active, and he's denounced Ayers' radical views and activities. They do live in the same Chicago neighborhood and served on a charity board together and had a fleeting political connection. Neither the Associated Press or the New York Times found evidence to suggest that the two men palled around, and it's simply wrong to suggest that they were associated while Ayers was committing terrorist acts.
And he, of course, having been associated with that group, but known domestic terrorist group, it's important for Americans to know. It's really important for Americans to start knowing who the real Barack Obama is.
And Palin's charge is part of a line of new attacks on Obama as Republican John McCain slips further behind in the polls.
Now, this is not a man who sees America as you and I see America. We see America as a force for good in this world.
With just 30 days until Election Day, expect the attacks to get even stronger. Matt Friedman, The Associated Press.